Right. So now I want to actually start. Yeah, last video I talked about the part numbers for this pre-cleaner. And then this video we will actually do it. And I think I have most all the tools that I need handy. But naturally now I said it. So probably gonna have to walk away at some point to get fucking something. But yeah, so this is the pump here that I've got the Harbor Freight pump on the back of it. Or this is the engine here, I guess I should say, that has the Harbor Freight pump on the back of it. And yeah, this pump is actually really nice. I really actually quite like it. I would imagine that if you were to buy, you know, a pump from like Northern Tool that came with a Honda engine on it, that it from the pictures anyways, the last time I looked, it looked like it came with one of these. And I really quite like those things. They're pretty good. But like I was saying, I bought a Harbor Freight pump that, like, complete, you know, with the frame and pump and engine and all that kind of shit together. And then I was using it for a little bit, and I don't know, I was just kind of being an idiot of trying to, you know, save myself some money because, you know, heard really good reviews about the Harbor Freight pumps and everything. And it sounds like it's kind of one of those things, or it's one of those normal things with Harbor Freight where it might take you a try or two to get a good one, but then once you do, you're kind of set. But yeah, I was like test running the thing one day, and the fucking the engine started to run like shit all of a sudden, and it just freaked me out because, you know, these pumps for me are for fire suppression. You know, I'm not really actually not doing much else with them. You know, yeah, I water the grass and what have you, but the whole idea is to have them sitting around ready to go at a moment's notice for fire suppression. And when that engine started acting up on me, it just scared the daylights out of me. And like, you know, granted, I was really thankful that it happened when I was just like doing like a trial run or whatever you want to call it. So I did not drain the fuel tank. So I think what I'm just going to do is tip it up on end here. But yeah, anyways, hard for me to fucking work and think and talk at the same time, as is evident. But yeah, I was really happy that it acted up on me when I was just messing around with it, I was I actually had a water tank set up on the back of my pickup, and I was just, if I remember right, I was wanting to see how much time I could get with that Harbor Freight pump on that tank. Like would I get 10 minutes of use out of it or 15 minutes of use or whatever. And yeah, that Harbor Freight engine just started running like shit and smoking and, belching and farting and doing all this shit and everything. And right then and there, I was just like, nope, I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm not going to try and, fix it or anything like that. I was kind of on the fence as it was already about having a Harbor Freight engine on the thing. Because, like I said, the pump's cool. I like the pump. And so I was like, nope, that's it. That's absolutely done it for me. That's made up my mind on it. And I took that Harbor Freight engine off and gave it to my buddy, who probably has done something with it now. I don't actually know if he has or not. But shit, the engine only had like 10 hours on it or something like that. It really wasn't much at all. And yeah, I probably could have fixed it, and I don't know, maybe there was just a jet dirty in the carb or something like that, but I don't know, I kind of took it as a sign or whatever that probably shouldn't trust that thing. And then got that GX200 to put on the North Star pump, and then the 160 that came with the North Star pump is now on this Harbor Freight one here. Oh, what the fuck? I could have swore that these had a rubber gasket for the valve cover gasket, but this is a cork gasket. That actually kind of pisses me off because I don't think I have a new one. But at least it came off in one piece, so guess that's probably a good thing. Well, yeah, fuck me. I don't have a new gasket for it. That sucks. But I guess that's easy enough to replace later, so no big deal, even if it does leak. But isn't it just the cutest fucking thing ever? How goddamn tiny these things are. And that fucking push rod is, like, no shit, it's smaller than a pencil. Here's a 1/4 inch extension. Especially in the camera, holy fuck. That's a 1/4 inch extension. It looks massive compared to the push rod. It fucking cracks me up. But, I mean, everything's relative, Some of the shit that I work on, like big shit mechanics or whatever, I'm sure they call them, sure they call them like Tonka toys or some crap like that, and some of the big boy mechanics that work down in the mines and whatnot, they get to play with some real stuff. But no matter what way you slice it, these little valves here are pretty fucking tiny. And so, unfortunately, because I set the valves on this once already. Doesn't have that many hours on it, but I just wanted to do it just as a proactive thing. This thread right here is a little bit stripped out because I went a little gorilla with it, unfortunately. And I don't actually have a helicoil or similar for it at the moment. So I guess that works out that I got to put a valve cover gasket on it anyways. But yeah, so here's the difference on the valve covers here. They're actually a slightly different shape. No, I guess they're not. Fuck. So they are actually the same shape and everything, but the difference is, oh, if I can pull a fucking hose out, Jesus. You son of a bitch. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. The fuck happened to that? I don't remember why, actually. I replaced the original hose that was on this thing. So that's just like a piece of Gates hose or whatever that was fucking stuck in there. Holy shit. But, so that's what the difference is on the valve covers. Kind of stupid that you got to change the valve cover for just that. And it would be nicer if all of the engines had the one with a little nipple sticking off of it. But does that seem right? Yeah, I guess it does. Damn it. Why is that feeling like shit? When I got that 200, the Honda 200, it actually really surprised me how many differences there are between the GX 160 here and the 200 that I have. One of them, I should probably look up a fucking torque spec for this, but my fucking torque wrenches are sent out for calibration at the moment, so I don't have any torque wrenches anyways. Yeah. So one of the differences is that the GX 160 here does not have any kind of support on the muffler. It's just the exhaust tube itself that holds the muffler in place. And the GX200 that I have has got a you can see it's a little in the way there. The GX200 has got a little support bracket on the muffler, and I think that's, you know, pretty good idea. Granted, I don't know how many hours it would take to crack out the exhaust tube on the muffler, but obviously that was a problem that they addressed. And so in the parts that I have, I don't have new gaskets here, but these are typically always in good shape on a relatively new engine. You know, if you're converting an engine that's 20 years old, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put new gaskets on it, but this engine here is only this engine here is only about 4 years old, so this is in really good shape. And then the other one on the other side, I wish they were all like this, is a metal core, and I think it's ferrous. I don't know that I have a magnet handy, but I think it's ferrous. But it's a metal core that has like an O-ring printed onto it or something. I don't know exactly how they do that, but I really, really like this. This is a really cool idea, and seems to work great too. See if I can fucking remember how this shit goes. Holy. Took it apart 5 fucking minutes ago, and I'm already like, what the fuck? And then trying to work around the damn camera and all that shit too, so. Fuck. Stupid fucking camera wasn't in the way. Jeez. Like so. And then I think it's kind of nifty how these choke levers sit on here. So you can see it's got just a little metal dingus end that sticks off the end there and goes into a slot on there. And then when you put the elbow on, the elbow has got a tab that holds that in place, and that's all that is there, which is kind of annoying if you wanted to take the intake elbow off and like switch to a completely different intake altogether. Like before I got these cyclone pre-cleaners from Honda, I was farting around with a couple other ideas of, you know, what to do for adding a pre-cleaner. And I found these deals online that you can get, like, I don't know, a new intake manifold or whatever the fuck you want to call it for these things. And it seems like it's for like the go-kart guys and everything, you know, if they want to put like a big K&N on there or something like that. And so it's just this little flange that goes around the inlet of the carburetor here, and then has like, you know, a 1-inch bung on the end of it or whatever the fuck. And And then you can, just screw a K&N filter on there or something like that. But all the ones that I've seen do not have any provision for holding the choke lever down. So maybe there's one out there that I'm not aware of or something, but I couldn't find it at the time that I was looking. And so this brand new out of the package intake elbow here has got a little bit of crap. And you see a little bit of fuzz in there. So I'm going to blow this out with brake clean. Yeah. Should come across. More clean. I like more clean. Ooh, I should probably put the draft hose on there. Guess it wouldn't be called a draft hose in this instance. Fuck, what way does it go? Like so. Oh. Holy fuck. I guess it wouldn't work worth a damn for keeping the dust out if you don't put the fucking gasket on. I was going to do this earlier in the day, and then I got a random job out of the blue. Had to drive a ways to get to it and everything, so that ate up a fair bit of time, which I'm not complaining about. It's good to get work and everything, but it just means that I'm a little bit dumber than normal because I'm extremely tired at the moment. Put a little bit of oil on that. Hey, that looks pretty good. So yeah, I think those little clamps that came in all the parts are for the draft hose here, or blow-by hose, or whatever you want to call them. And yeah, I know draft hose is the suction hose on a water pump, but I've also always heard it called my entire life a draft hose as being the blow-by hose on an engine too. Or draft tube, I guess most people call it. But yeah, those little clamps are probably for that, but that's a pretty tight fit on that guy as it is. So I don't think I'm going to put those on at the moment. And then if I decide to later, you got to take the valve cover back off anyways. So the original filter goes back on, and yeah, so there's that what the fuck do you call that, a bushing or whatever on the top there. Holy fuck, find the hole. Ah, son of a bitch. And you can't even see what I'm doing. Ain't that nice of me. So, on there like so, original wing nut. On like so. Ooh, it's all stiff. And then whoop. Hard to pull that one out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Okay. So on one hand, this is probably one of my most boring videos yet, which is probably fucking saying something. But on the other hand, I think it's good because you can see there's this little, just, it's good in the sense of these little kind of details pop up here. Because on one hand, okay, it's just bolting shit together, but maybe somebody gets something out of this. So yeah, that little tab, the white tab, needs to go all the way down like so. Then we tighten it down. Oh, and I guess if anyone hasn't seen these things yet, these things are pretty stinking cool. They come in all sorts of different colors and everything if you want different colors. But it's a ratcheting screwdriver, and so, you know, you can just sit there and ratchet it back and forth like so, and then it's got a direction control on the top of it, and you can lock it in the center. And I forget if this one does or not. No, this one doesn't. Not easily anyways, but some of these you can actually interchange the shanks on them and get all sorts of different sizes of handles and shanks. And yeah, there's, you know, 1,001 Chinese companies that make these things, but these Snap-on ones are really nice and hold up to years of abuse. And you can get parts for them if you ever break anything. Okay. So all three, whoop, wrong way. All three screws into the precleaner there. And then the precleaner actually like slots into the air filter cover like so. And then metal piece on the inside. And try and hold 6 things at once here to get the screw started. And that's all she wrote. And so yeah, this this elbow here has already got an O-ring in there, which I really, really like. You know, I like the fact that this is all totally sealed off now. Not, you know, not to say that it's like watertight or whatever, but sealed as far as the air is concerned anyways. And so now all of the air that enters the engine has to go through that screen, through the precleaner, and then in. If we look at the original setup here, you know, you can see how much material is missing from this original one compared to the new one. And so like that's how it would sit there. So, you know, you can get huge, absolutely massive chunks of debris in there. Yeah, so these are, yeah, so these are evidently extras because, of course, it had, you know, I just reused the original one, and like I said, it's got 2 because I got parts for 2 complete ones. And then these are those little clamps that go on the blow-by hose, which, like I said, I gotta fuck with the valve cover later anyway, so I'm not worried about that at the moment. And dig with it later. But turn the fuel on, flip it over to choke, and you know, as you saw, that's the carburetor right out of the box. I haven't done anything to it as far as, you know, tuning it for my elevation or anything like that. And you know, hopefully it'll start on the first pull here like Hondas normally do. Rattles the fuck out of the table, and don't want to run it too long without any water in the pump, because otherwise it'll burn up the seal on the shaft. But you know, if that's not Honda quality for you, then I don't know what is.